Hi, I'm Catherine Birch, Senior Economist at ANZ Research.
And I'm Adelaide Timbrell, Economist at ANZ Research. Today we're just going to have a super quick chat about our recently released Stateometer report, which looks at growth in Q4 of 2020 and the economic outlook across states. The big thing we've seen is an acceleration of economic growth in Q4 from the start of the economic recovery in Q3. After the recession, we're seeing really strong recoveries across state economies, and in particular New South Wales and ACT, which are both above trend and accelerating in Q4.
There's been a divergence between the economic stories for regional areas versus capital cities though, with regional economies really outperforming on a number of different measures compared with the capital cities, which have been more exposed to COVID outbreaks, to restrictions, and also more exposed to that tourism gap as well.
When we look at the states individually, the big story for New South Wales is that the unemployment rate has come right down to 6% in January, below the national average of 6.4%. But other indicators are a little bit weaker. When we look at Victoria, they're rebuilding from that second wave lockdown. So since November, things have been going really well for them, including a consumption bounce of 12.8% quarter-on-quarter retail sales in the December quarter of 2020. In Queensland, employment growth grew more than any other state in Q4, but some of their other indicators, including their housing market, is falling behind other states.
For South Australia, the story has been less spending but more lending. So in Q4, household spending was affected by the short, sharp lockdown that we saw in November, whereas actually housing lending growth is above average. For Western Australia, the economic recovery has really been underpinned by exports, and the state share of national exports has hit a record high of 58% in January.
The risk to the outlook when it comes to across the state economies, but particularly the East Coast, are those border closures. Not just international border closures, but state border closures as well. The lockdown restrictions we see on those short, sharp lockdowns are probably less important than that state and international border policy.
There are some positive factors to consider for the outlook as well though. Our recent major projects report shows that major projects are likely to ramp up quite quickly over the next couple of years across all states and territories. And there is still quite a bit of fiscal spending to come, particularly from the state and territory governments. Thank you.